Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Red Door Yoga Mini Sutra series online. It's a pleasure to be here with you as always. Today, I wanted to talk about the idea that boundaries are not tit for tat. Okay, and so what I want to look at, I'm going to give you guys an example of this today. What I want to look at is the idea that occurs when someone is asking for something. They have a boundary, they're asking for some type of behavior from us. And our tendency is to feel then that if we're going to do that for them, that they must do that for us, right? There's this idea in our mind of fairness, especially if the behavior they're asking from us requires effort on our part because it's not our natural tendency to be this way. We say, well, if I'm going to do this, if I'm going to be that way, then you need to be that way with me too. Okay. And while on the surface that sounds like a great idea, what you actually need to start to look at is this something that actually has any value to you? So the example I'm going to give you is my husband and I. So my husband is a Kapavata, and some of you may have heard these terms being used before because they are Ayurvedic terms, and Ayurveda is the science that's behind yoga. Okay, so he's a Kapavata, and I am a Pittavata. Okay, my main dosha is Pitta, and his main dosha is Kapha. Now, as you start understanding these doshas, you know that the behaviors are very different. Kappas are slow and steady, win the race. That's how they move, that's how they think, that's how they kind of face the world. And as a result, I describe them as a big ship. They are the sturdiest bills, mentally and otherwise. And so their tendency is that they don't shift very easily. They don't like change. They like consistency. So if you're going to change something on them, they like a lot of notice. And I, from speaking as a Pitta, I feel like it's a lot of notice that they like, right? Compared to Pittas. Pittas, while we may not move as fast as, let's say, a Vata, Pittas, we can adjust ourselves relatively quickly, okay? And we trust ourselves to adjust relatively quickly on the fly. So I remember one day, my husband wasn't feeling so well, and he and we work out together on a regular basis. And so he was telling me that morning that he wasn't feeling very well. And so I said to him, would you like to not work out today? And he said, well, I want to work out. I just don't know if I'm going to feel well enough to work out. And I said, okay. Tell you what, I said, I've got my classes to teach, and then I have some private students, and I'm going to be done with my students at 1:30. When I come in at 1:30, I said, you can let me know if you want to work out at that point. And he said, well, I don't want to give, I want to give you some notice. And I looked at him and I said in my very Pitta way, I said, I am not you. And what I meant by that is, he needs lots of notice. That would be something that would irritate him if I came in at 1:30 and said, okay, I've decided I'm going to work out, or okay, I've decided I'm not going to work out, because he would feel like he'd have to, snap to it, he'd have to change his plans just like that, and Kappas don't respond like that, right? That would cause him stress. Whereas for a Pitta, I'm okay with that. I said, but here's the thing, I'm okay with not getting this amount of notice. So the question is, what am I not okay with? What I'm not okay with, as in it stresses me, is when someone says they're going to do something and they don't do it. So when we're talking about boundaries, it is different coming from his direction versus coming from my direction. So when we're looking at boundaries, what we want to be able to do is we want to be able to ask for what we want. So in my case, I ask that when you tell me you're going to do something, that you do it. And then he wants to be able to ask for what he wants. And what he wants is, I'd like lots of notice for any changes that are being made to whatever it is. I don't need him to give me notice like that, but I will attempt to give him that notice on a regular basis. He doesn't need me to do everything that I say I'm going to do. I need him on a regular basis to do what he says he's going to do. So our boundaries are different. It's not a tit for tat. I do not value this much notice. That doesn't hold real value to me. What holds value to me is knowing that when someone says they're going to do something, that they do it. And the vice versa. The idea of that second part, someone doing what they said they were going to do, that doesn't hold as much value to him as giving him notice. So when we get into this idea that our boundaries need to be tit for tat, I do that for you, so you have to do it for me, very often we're actually kind of ignoring our own value system. And we're doing it because of being driven by some egoic idea of equality. And we really need to look closely at that, because we're usually undermining our own needs. All right, so I hope this was helpful, everyone. If you have any questions, any comments, please do put them in the comment section below. And if there are topics you'd like me to talk about, please do add that into the comment section below as well, because I keep a little list, and that way I know when I come to do the mini sutras that someone would like me to talk about this, whatever this is. You can join us on the RDY Self-Mastery group that is attached to the Red Door Yoga Facebook page. And if you would like to join us for our mentorship program, where I'll be giving you lessons, and then I will be giving you guidance, and we'll be doing live Q&As, and there'll be a community that will be working on this stuff together. If you'd like to join us for that mentorship, then go to themasterfulpath.com. And if the doors are closed, you can join the wait list, and I will let you know as soon as they're open. If the doors are open, then you can come on in and join us, and we'd be happy to have you as a mentee. Thank you for joining us, everyone, and we will see you online very, very soon. Namaste.